So, we did a thing. We unexpectedly, really unexpectedly, on a whim, which is not like us, traded our side-by-side for a 25-year-old Jeep. So let me explain. I saw this on Facebook Marketplace. It caught my eye. And I clicked on it, reading the description. And down in the description, it said trade. Trade for a tractor or something else, but no motorcycles. And I thought, kind of want a larger side-by-side now that we have trails cut through the property and we have access to the majority of the property. A bigger side-by-side would be nice. A four-seater side-by-side would be nice so the kiddos can ride with us more comfortably rather than being shoved in the back like cargo, which you're probably not supposed to do, but everyone does anyway. It would be nice to have a side-by-side that could move my trailer around the property or pull a trailer with ease. Of course, that one could, but you know what I'm talking about. I think it might be nice to trade. So I contacted them. Me and my wife talked it over, contacted the people who listed it, drove an hour to their house to check it out. They wanted to check out the side-by-side and let us check out this. And we left with this on my trailer, which was pretty kind of a strange day, if you ask me, because like I said, it wasn't expected. So why would somebody want to trade this for a side-by-side? Well, this is in great condition. I'll show you, I'll walk you around it. There's no rust on it. Well, there's like a little itty-bitty pencil size amount of rust on the driver door. I think you really got to look hard to find the rust, if there is any. The frame is not rusted. It's lifted. It's got some really nice, good condition Mickey Thompson Baja tires. It's got a 8,000-pound worn winch on the front of it. It rides like a 25-year-old lifted vehicle, so you know it's not a Cadillac by any means. But why would they want to trade? Well, he said that he has had a Jeep his entire life. He's 69 years old. His wife is 70 years old, and it's just hard to get in and out of. So they barely drove it over the past 2 years. It's been kept under a roof. The only thing wrong with the body is the clear coat on the hood is flaking off. That's it. Body is in great condition. Interior is in great condition. When we went and checked it out, the gentleman showed us around his shop and his property and whatnot, and everything that they had, you could tell that they kept really good condition of their stuff. They kept their stuff in good condition. So we felt comfortable with the trade. I put about 50 miles on it or so on the highway and the roads already. Got it registered in our name. I can't find anything wrong with it other than the fact that it's a 25-year-old vehicle that drives like a lifted 25-year-old vehicle. It's not a comfortable Cadillac, for the road anyway. But for here on the property, we've already gone through the majority of our trails, and we've only found a couple spots where it's like, yeah, we got to move it. We got to widen this just slightly. It's very similar to the size of the side-by-side that we had. We bought a 2024 Bad Boy Bandit 550. So financially, I think as far as the value goes, I think we immediately took a little bit of a loss because I think the side-by-side is worth a little bit more than this, but long-term, I think this will hold its value longer. And for what we want to do at the property right now and the condition of the property right now, we both think that this is the better fit for us. And then we fully acknowledge the fact that we could not have started out. I don't think we should have started out with something like this because we didn't have hardly any access to the property. So we had to have something that was nimble to get around to help us create access, if that makes sense. So anyway, this is a 99 Jeep Wrangler Sahara edition. I don't know entirely on the Sahara thing. I think that's just a trim package. Like I believe that comes with factory fender flares and some other stuff. I'm a Jeep newbie. I don't know anything about Jeeps, so you guys could probably school me on this. But it's lifted. I don't know the size of the lift. Inline 6-cylinder, the 4.0 liter, and 4-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. It's a 5-speed. My wife is learning how to drive a 5-speed on this, which is an easy vehicle to learn how to drive a manual transmission, especially in 4-low. I mean, you don't even have to give it any gas to get off on the clutch. It's a fun vehicle. And one of the biggest benefits of this is it's street legal and it's a vehicle. So if something happens to our daily drivers, we have a backup. We have a backup that I can use. So whatever vehicle goes down, my wife gets the other automatic transmission vehicle, and I'll use this until we get the other vehicle fixed. That would be like a game plan situation. I've got to go find some bug spray because I wanted to shoot this video in the woods because of the sun, and now I'm kind of regretting that decision. Be right back. I'll be on the GoPro and I'll give you a walk around. Quick shout out to this frog mount for a camera, most commonly for a GoPro. I've been using this so much on the property. 3 really strong magnets. Super handy little tripod mount. Anyway, flaking clear coat on the hood, as I said. Warren 8,000 pound winch. I already hooked it up to something heavy to pull it around and just make sure that it works. Works just fine. So the winch is a big upgrade for us. Bumper, body, all of it looks real nice and straight. All the lights work as intended. Windshield wipers work. The sprayer for the windshield wipers work. So that's an upgrade over a side-by-side. Like I said, Mickey Thompson Baja tires. Baja something, what are they called? Baja Legend tires. These are 30, what is that, 33 by 12.5 by, I'm sorry, 33 12.5 R15 tires. So decent sized tires. I don't know the size of a lift, but it's lifted. It's a little tall to get into, which is the reason why they wanted to trade it. So perfect for us. The body's in really good shape. There's no body damage, just typical little itty bitty rust spots that you would expect after 25 years. Like the door hinge right here's got a little bit of rust. That's kind of expected, kind of typical. And then like rock chips right up here. Little bitty pits of rust. Big stinking deal. This is, like I said, a tool for us. We're going to primarily use it as a side-by-side, but also it's going to be a convenient backup if one of our daily drivers go down. Really good condition. You can see it here on the trails. So this is one of our typical trails. We did not make this extra wide for the Jeep. This is our, I guess you could say, standard width trail. And it's just fine. Of course, there's a lot of trees, so I imagine I'll get into a situation at some time where I got to do an Austin Powers turn if I have to turn around. But all of our trails on this property are in loop systems to prevent going in reverse. We did that on purpose. We did all that when we had our Bandit side-by-side. So pretty cool, pretty cool. I don't know what I have or haven't said. I had to take a phone call in between these shots. So we have a hard shell, or hard top, and a Benimi top that came with it. Interior is in great condition. Really good condition. All the gauges work. Aftermarket radio, who cares? We don't listen to music while we're riding around. Sound bar, who cares? We don't listen to music. These are seat covers. I don't know the condition of the factory seats, but there's no indication that they're all messed up or anything, because everything that this gentleman had on his property was in very good shape. Everything looked very well taken care of. Everything works like it should. Oh, the only thing wrong with the interior that I found is right here there's a lock, and this is busted off. Who cares? It's got a back seat. My daughter already fell asleep on it while we were trail riding. And the reason she fell asleep on it, because she got super comfortable, because we were riding around on the trails with air conditioning, which is not something that we could say that we did with our last side-by-side. My wife likes the air conditioning. If I'm hot, you gotta stay hot. Well, not like super hot, but going in and out of air conditioning, outside heat, air conditioning, outside heat, back and forth, I can't stand that. It just doesn't make you feel good. All the turn signals, lights, everything is in good working condition. All this works just fine. Although this hinge is really tight, which is odd because, for me anyway, it may be like this on all Jeeps, but when I think of something that's 25 years old, I think of parts that are loose and a little bit wore out, not like nice and tight with no rattling. So we've already got it dirty for the first time, so check that box. The back seat, I'm not familiar with Jeeps, so push it forward. So all this is cool to me. Folds forward, and you have some cargo space, about the same amount of space as you had in the side-by-side bed, although this doesn't dump. Give and take, a few trade-offs here and there. Previous person, somebody had a sound system in it, I guess, years ago, because it definitely wasn't the guy who I got it from. All of it works. It is street legal, 25-year-old vehicle. Obviously, it's street legal. In Mississippi, after 25 years, you can get it antique tagged. So you get an antique vehicle. And what that means is you pay registration one time and you're done forever. No more registration fees on a yearly basis. Only downside is, well, the only catch is you have to have it normally tagged for a year. It cost me $42 to get this tagged for 1 year. And yeah, there's that. It is kind of tall. I don't know the size of the lift, like I said, but there's some definite effort to get up in here. My leg is like horizontal at my hip to get in here. So the roll cage, they had two of these like kayak handles, I guess you could say, one on either side. I don't like that. I'd rather just grab the bar, so I took the one off on the driver's side. My wife wanted to keep the one over there on the passenger side. But yeah, we traded a side-by-side for a Jeep. Now this is our side-by-side. We plan to treat this as a tool for us to get around the property. And there's that. It does not ride like a nice, beautiful Cadillac. It rides like a 25-year-old lifted truck, which is expected. I'm not familiar with Jeeps by any means, so if you guys see any red flags, let me know. But I think I'm to the point now where if there are any red flags, it can't be anything major. And this does everything that we need it to do on the property, so honestly I don't really care that much. Pretty cool. This vehicle would not be a good fit for us. We had mobility issues around the property that this it held a bug. If it looks like I'm crying, I just inhaled a bug. So I do have a question to ask all of you, a question that's been asked a million times online, and that is, if you have a piece of property that requires some type of motorized transportation, whether it's a farm, a ranch, maybe you bought a forest like us, did you go with an older vehicle, Jeep Wrangler, an old Toyota pickup, an old Ford Ranger, or did you go the side-by-side route? Tell us which one you went with and why. Also tell us about your property, because that's a huge part of the decision-making process. Like I said, for us, when we first got this property, this would have been a horrible decision right off the bat. But considering the fact that we've made this property much more accessible with the internal trail system, now I think, my wife thinks, we think that this is a much better fit for us long term. A lot of other possibilities with this too. You know, my daughter's 6. If you maintain an old vehicle like this, it'll last you forever. This could be her first vehicle. Who knows? So there's that. Let us know what decision you went with and why. I hope that this vehicle lasts us a really long time. I don't think it's going to see third gear for a long time unless something crazy happens to our daily drivers. Putzing around on the property in two-wheel drive, first gear is basically as fast as you want to go. Kind of due to the tires being much larger than factory, you kind of go a little bit faster in every gear for the same RPM versus factory tires. And then in four-wheel drive low, first and second gear is all this thing's ever going to see. I don't ever see third gear, fourth gear happening on this property. So putzing around, hopefully this thing lasts us a really long time so long as we maintain it. I think that's it for this video. You guys take care. Have a great day. You're going to see this a lot in the future. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the next video. It's been a few days since I shot the, I guess that Jeep intro video. And this is one of the many reasons why I wanted to switch to a Jeep versus a side-by-side. I can pull my trailer around. Having a mobile workbench, toolbox, whatever this is, this trailer, being able to pull it around with the Jeep on days like today saved my butt. We just trenched a bunch of pipe and this thing has been super handy. Well, why can't I use my truck? Well, I could have, but my truck has a different trailer on it. I rented a trencher, so having another vehicle where I don't have to keep swapping back and forth has proven to be nice.